What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Last Word, and today we got a treat for you. We will be ranking the starting point guards in the NBA. Today, we have myself, Charlie Owens, and Scott and Nick. How are we doing today, guys?
Fortunately, Fletcher could not join us, but the rest of us are feeling good. We're using your favorite tiermaker.com, fresh off of Nick D-Ray's iPad.
Yep.
Okay, so we were going to start with defining the tiers,
Colors.
right?
Yeah, the tiers.
Defining the colors. Okay.
All right. So I think the first one we could make it
Green, we're calling them bona fide scrubs.
Yeah.
Should not be a starting point guard.
Should not be a
Should not be a
starting
starting
point
point
That's
guard.
facts. Which does not deserve to be in the NBA. Okay. So
No, doesn't deserve to be in the NBA.
That doesn't deserve to be in the
Just should
NBA.
be a starting
All
point guard.
starting
bonafide
point
scrubs.
guard.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, why not?
Just should not be a starting point guard.
That's how you spelled that. Right?
Okay, you know what? That works.
How does you spell that?
That's
good.
fine. That's
Good.
fine.
That is how you spell it.
It's not like people watch our channel for the spelling.
No,
so.
he spelled it.
Oh, did he
right.
spell it right?
Guys, let's
In
go.
your face.
Okay. Yellow. Below
All right,
average
yellow.
starter.
Below average.
Below average. I got you.
And then I guess orange is already.
Oh.
Average. Orange is average.
Orange is average, so we don't need to change that.
And then we have the, all-star, above.
Borderline.
Yeah.
Borderline all-star. That's
Borderline all-star.
perfect. Border. Oh shoot! Wait, that's kind of.
No.
What?
No, just B-O-R-D.
I'm sorry. I had a bad day.
Borderline all-star. Okay, and our final tier will be
All-star.
top of the top.
Top tier,
Best,
top
best
tier.
guys in the league. All-stars, all-NBA
All-star,
players.
all-NBA, whatever.
yeah,
all,
Just
all
all-stars.
world. Best in the world.
And for the all-stars, for the rest of them, we'll just put them in a tier. For the all-stars, we'll actually rank them for you guys, 1 down to 5 or however many guys
Yeah.
we have. So you guys want to start at the
We like
bottom?
to keep
since
things.
we-
We like to keep things controversial.
Since
here
there's
on The Last
30,
Word.
we're gonna do 6 in each. Let's try and keep it to 6.
Well, no. We should just put them according
just
to
put 'em
whether
in
they
according.
put in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
All right.
Well,
So we just want to go in order.
Yeah, why not?
Let's
go
start.
Ben Simmons.
Start with Ben
He's-
Simmons.
he's
Ben
right
Simmons
there.
is obviously an all-star.
I'd say borderline also.
borderline. I'd say he's
Whoa.
very top.
I mean, he
of the borderline
was an
all-star.
all-star last year.
But
Was
I mean,
he
this year he's
actually?
averaging
Hold
14 points.
Last year,
Hold
yeah.
on a
Because
minute.
remember,
Hold on a minute.
LeBron traded for.
Ben Simmons has played 2 seasons. He was an all-star one of the seasons. Last year, he was an all-star, but this year he has fewer points per game.
Oh, does he
has
really?
Fewer rebounds per game.
He's averaging
And-
15. He's averaging less than
Oh,
Carmelo.
my
Although I will
Goodness.
give you
Okay,
his
well, Melo's
three-point
shooting.
percentage went up by
His
40.
3-point
Went up by 40, bro. So that is insane.
Crazy.
I
Put him
still
on the
I think we
all-star.
put him. Yeah, borderline
no,
all-star.
okay. I didn't know his points.
I'm gonna be
dropped
honest
off
though.
as much
He
as
is
his
one of
did.
the best defensive guards in the entire.
Well, it's because
NBA.
he's so athletic.
He's so and he's
like-
so much bigger.
I like
Yeah.
Ben
Exactly.
Simmons a lot, but I'm worried that his ceiling is 15 to 17 points
Yeah,
per game.
exactly.
He's literally
It's been-
shown
When
there's
people
no
were saying that he
signs
was
of
going to be like a
improvement at
magic,
all.
when people were saying he was going to be a magic, and then he's just slowly gotten.
He's not, like,
worse statistics.
He's
deceptive
averaged
enough.
all 3 years of his career. He's averaged about 8 rebounds and 8 assists per game. Very strong, But I think his peak is
Just
about
not
15 to
so-
17 points per game because in the modern NBA, you have to be able to shoot the 3. Otherwise, teams just disrespect him. And
Mhm.
when teammates
He's
with
got
Joel
two.
Embiid, they can just double Joel and
Exactly.
disrespect you,
Right.
and it just stops the Sixers.
Exactly.
And it's not like they have a lot of great 3-point shooting aside from Tobias Harris,
And even Tobias Harris.
who's just like a guy who can just like occasionally knock him down. It's not like he's a spot up 3-point shooter.
All right, let's move on to the next player. I mean, I know it shows Cam Reddish,
it's
but
Trae
this is
Young.
going to be
We're
Trae
saying
Young.
it's-
I
we're saying
think
it's
this was
Trae
made
Young.
when Trae Young was injured.
We don't know why. Cam
Absolutely
Reddish is
all-star.
there.
Absolute
Yeah,
all-star.
Trae Young's a
Trae
100%.
Young's an all-star. Trae Young's.
He's
Was he
an
averaging 28 points now?
Trae
28
Young
points?
is insane.
I mean, he's
His
not.
defense
I
is
think
like-
he's number
he's
one.
Like low.
His defense
is
is in the bona
legitimately
fide
bad.
scrub tier.
It's garbage.
His defense
It's
is
garbage.
straight
But his
garbage.
offense
But he
and his
makes up
passing,
for it.
his offense and his passing.
Yeah, no, guys
absolutely
averaging
make up for it.
29, 8.5 assists, 4.5 boards.
Yeah,
It
he
sucks
deserves
he's
it.
on the worst team in the
44%
league,
field goal,
though.
37% three.
I mean, can you imagine if he was on
They've
the
got
Sixers?
they've got some
Can you imagine if
pieces
he was
for
on the
the future.
Sixers instead of Ben Simmons? Do you think about that? I mean,
That'd
having
be
that
nice.
shooter instead of that Ben Simmons, the Ben Simmons that clogs up.
Although
the
it's
paint.
hard to tell how Trae would function on a team with other stars around him because
Yeah.
he gets a lot of shots.
Exactly.
He gets the ball.
And
he
also
gets a
the
lot of
Sixers,
garbage
the
time
Sixers'
buckets.
offense is like really fast too.
Yeah.
Like they don't use a lot of half court because they know
They don't
that
just
they know
ISO
that they
point
can't
guard.
spot up. So like I mean Trae Young's like more of an ISO player as you said, Scotty. So
Exactly.
it would be interesting to see. Honestly, I don't really see a big difference happening with the Sixers because I think they just need more spot-up shooting. But
Exactly.
No, Trae Young's been killing it this year.
but-
I mean, he's leading the Eastern Conference All-Star guards in All-Star votes.
The
right
big
now.
thing right
Yeah,
now
great.
with the Sixers is that they are getting kind of. They just can't score as well against these zone defenses because they just can't shoot that well. But
Yeah.
they're starting
Well,
to play that guy
exactly.
Korkmaz, who actually
Furkan.
dropped 24 points tonight. He's a good shooter. He's like a 39%
But he's not.
free.
He's not good
He's
enough.
not-
for
he's
that.
He's
not,
absolutely
like-
not good
He's
enough.
not
for-
going to be a difference maker in a.
But
playoff
he's a
series.
good enough player to like where it's
He's
at least
just a
you have a
guy.
couple
That's
of
like
threes.
that's
just a
like
guy.
saying like Myers Leonard's.
Oh, I know, but like
yeah.
he's at least someone that they can look forward
Yes,
to
we
having
understand.
at least a little bit of three.
All right.
Yeah, and they have Tobias too.
Yes,
Tobias
correct.
is a shooter.
All right, Chris
All
Paul.
right, Chris Paul.
I'm torn here, man, because he's averaging 16.5 points, 6.5 assists, and 5 boards. So he's like right between.
I'd say borderline
All-Star
all-star.
and average.
I'd say borderline All-Star.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
I'm
put him
going
at the
borderline
bottom.
all-star.
He's kind of revamped his career
But
this
he's
year.
killed it with OKC. Like his leadership has changed that team. I still have him at borderline all-star.
Like I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably put him at the bottom of the borderline.
yeah,
All-Star
that's
tier.
what I'm
like
putting.
if you go back and watch our first video, where we predicted the power rankings, we had like OKC last in the West.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I feel bad about saying this, but y'all kind of convinced me to change my opinion. I should have kept my opinion. I said they were going to be borderline playoff team. I was thinking they were going to be like a 9, maybe even 8 seed.
Did
notice
you
how
say-
he
did-
notice
did
how
you
he says
say-
this now.
Yeah.
Did you just say I'm gonna be honest?
Notice how he
I
says-
predicted this right, and you guys were wrong.
No, I'm just saying that I was saying that I shouldn't have switched my opinion on me. I knew
feel
that
you,
this was going to happen, and then I just switched it because
Dude,
yeah.
no,
But I knew that they were going to.
that didn't happen.
That did happen though. 'Cause
Okay.
you all literally told me they're going to be
We're all in
lower.
agreement. Chris Paul is
Borderline all-star. All right, Damian Lillard, absolute all-star.
Yep.
100%. Best point guard in the league.
100%.
Other than obviously like
Well,
LeBron. If you
LeBron.
consider him. If you consider him.
Which
He's
he
definitely
is. He's been
all-star.
playing point guard.
Avery
We don't have to
Bradley's
make a
been
case
their
for
point
him.
guard. Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley's not a point guard.
Yeah, that's what they
Okay,
claim
let's
as.
go to the next guy, D'Lo.
How come LeBron takes the ball up the
D'Lo,
court?
I would say.
D'Lo's an all-star, although at the bottom of the thing.
I agree, but
because
I'd say borderline.
you could put him borderline.
I would honestly say
I'd put him
borderline.
above. This year, he's kind of having a bad year. Let's be real. Like,
Well,
I know it's with the Warriors and the
What are
Warriors
his
are
stats,
worse
Scotty?
He's averaging 23.1 points, 6.2 assists.
Which
Look
is
at his
pretty
field
much
goal
what he did
percentage.
last year.
6.5 boards, 43% from the field, 37 from 3.
That's
That's not
solid.
bad.
So
That's
that's
solid.
honestly
Bottom all star.
very, that's,
I'd go
that's
bottom all
very
star.
similar. Those are almost identical to what he had last year.
Uh-huh.
And last year he was an all-star player. But I think that even though we called the top tier all-star, we're talking like best guys, like 28 plus points per game.
Yeah.
Like
So
these
I'd
are-
say
say
borderline.
top of the borderline.
Top,
all-star
yeah, I
class.
agree with that. That sounds perfect.
It's
All right,
just
I'm gonna
I
put him-
can't.
Should we? I think above.
It's just interesting to me that he leads a Nets team that was as inconsistent without him last year to like the playoffs, and then he gets his shot on the Warriors, and this is what's happening. I mean,
Yeah,
I
the Warriors
understand
had
the
a lot better
injuries.
pieces around him. Or
Yeah,
excuse me,
the
the
Nets,
had a lot
because
better
they had
pieces.
like at least
Warriors
they
have
had
a ton
like
of
Dinwiddie
young
and
guys,
Jared
Jimmy
Allen,
guys. Yeah.
but like
Warriors have
I mean,
no pieces.
you gotta think like what happened to Draymond, guys?
Charles
Yeah.
Barkley said today, he's like, you don't hear Draymond talking.
He's got
now
a
that
single.
averaging
If you wanna hear something real quick,
triple single.
James Harden currently averages more steals and more blocks per game
It makes sense.
than Draymond.
Draymond,
Green.
Makes
It's embarrassing.
sense.
That's
All right.
embarrassing.
It
Let's
makes
move on to the
sense.
next guy.
All right, Darius Garland. Below average.
Below average. I mean,
for
he's
sure.
young.
He's got potential.
He's young. He's got potential. I don't think
it's
he's gonna
the
be
guy
quite
dating
like
the
a Dame.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
They said he was gonna. They
This team
predicted
is
him
a
to be
hot
like
mess.
a Dame.
Dude,
but
he's
he's a
averaging
member.
12,
He's a
2, and
member.
4
He's a member of the
below
Slugs. He's a member
Yeah.
of the Slugs.
Okay. Next guy, De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox.
Average.
Average.
I like Fox. I think
Average.
he's got
This
potential,
year,
but-
honestly, he's been having a pretty bad year. If it was last year, I might have put him at bottom of
Yeah.
the All Stars.
Well, when you say
Bottom-
that,
bottom of the
this
borderline.
year- hold on, when you say that, Nick, this year he's averaging 19.2 points. He's averaging 7.
But this year he's
7.3
this year
assists
he's
and
been
4.4
significantly
rebounds.
more inconsistent.
Honestly,
That's fair,
last
but he's
year he was a
averaging
lot more
more
consistent.
points, the same amount of assists, and more rebounds per game.
Field goal percentages.
honestly,
Field
I
goal
don't
percentages
think
are
you
better
can.
this year. His 3-point percentage is.
I don't think you can dictate De'Aaron Fox's impact this year by his statistics.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just from the pace of the offense. I think Luke Walton has destroyed the Kings.
That's
Walton
true.
is not a good coach, and Fox He needs to improve his 3-point shooting a
I
bit,
agree.
but I'd say he's at the top of the average.
They call him Swiper
like,
because
almost
he's
pro.
fast, bro.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's,
Like let the man run. Why are you playing him in the half court setting when you know he can't
I'm a
shoot the
big
three?
fan. I'm a big fan of Fox. I think later on in his career he could
He's
be up
so
there at
fun
the
to
top.
watch,
He's
dude.
so entertaining.
He's
This
a
is why
guy who can get
the
25,
Kings,
10, and
the
5
Kings
a
are my
night.
second team. They're probably one of my second or third favorite teams to watch, other than the Blazers, obviously, because I'm a Blazer fan. But yeah, I gotta put him. I gotta put him at average for this year.
Okay.
We agree.
So let's go next
DeJounte
guy.
Murray,
Below average.
below average, but ahead of Darius Garland.
I mean, we
Don't really need
we
to
love
talk about
DeJounte.
him.
He's been
I like his defense.
he's been it's
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's averaging 10 points. I tell you.
Yeah, I mean it's a bad Spurs team, and I
Okay.
really hope they make the playoffs to keep the streak alive. But like at the same time, I want the Blazers to make the playoffs, so it's
Yeah.
conflict of interest.
Okay, who's next?
DJ Augustine, average. I got average.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
He's averaging like 19 points or 18 points.
yeah.
something like
I
that.
mean, you
He's
got to consider it's
averaging
the Orlando
10.7
Magic, and he's probably
Wait, what?
He's below average.
Oh wait, what
DJ
team was I
Augustin's
thinking?
bad.
Who's the player on the Magic? That's
Evan
averaging?
Fournier.
That's who I was thinking of.
DJ
My bad. I
Augustin's
screwed
bad.
him up. So
He's
then
average or below average.
probably below average.
put him above Darius Garland.
Well, we're not putting them in any particular
Wait,
order
what?
Except
on
for the
the
All-Stars.
tier.
What are you doing?
I don't even know, bro.
Okay,
What?
who's the next guy?
Dude, stop.
There we
Just
go.
leave
Doesn't
it.
matter
All
anymore.
right.
Eric Bledsoe,
Eric
he
Bledsoe,
is
he's average.
He's
Borderline
the
average.
same- he's
All-star.
the same as
I'd say
Fox.
borderline all-star.
He's been
He's
one of the
like
most.
Fox.
He's like Fox.
Yeah.
He's been one of the most
Put Bledsoe
consistently
there as
average point guards.
I'm gonna put him ahead of Fox though,
Well,
because
we're not ranking.
We're not
those guys.
we're not
Uh,
ranking other than the.
oh, I
All-Stars.
thought
Yeah,
we were
he's
doing that.
15 points, 4.6.
He's been one of the
rebounds,
most
5
like
assists.
consistent point guards in the past like few years.
Okay, so who's next?
He's been doing his
he's
job.
I
I got average with this Smith, bro.
He could be a bona fide
He's my
scorer,
boy.
man.
No, don't
he's just-
disrespect.
he's just below
Give him
average.
below average.
He's 11.
That's
3,
my boy
4.5.
Ish Smith, bro.
He's solid. Ishmael Larry Smith. He's
all right.
below
So
average.
we're not doing the below average in any order. So we're just gonna put
No,
them together.
just,
Okay.
just don't mention
John
So
Morant.
just below average.
Borderline All Star.
Nah.
I
John
really-
Morant.
You know,
I really like
John
Morant.
Morant.
He's been having a killer year, but
The
I could
Grizzlies
see-
are in playoff contention.
Timeout. He's averaging 18, 7, and 3.5. We put Ben Simmons and Chris Paul up there, and they're both averaging like 16.
The
On top of
Grizzlies
that,
are in
Ja's
playoff
field goal
contention.
percentage. Ja's field goal percentage 49.4, 3-point percentage 41.
real quick, look up Eric Bledsoe's
John's gonna be
stats
up there.
because I really want to
Yeah,
check
just
this out.
The
look Bledsoe was like 15.
Grizzlies are in playoff
I think we
contention.
put- I
Have
think we
you
put him
seen their
borderline.
But Eric
roster?
Bledsoe is also
Have
one of the
you
best
seen their
defensive
roster?
guards. He
Yeah,
was-
Bledsoe's 15, 4.5, 5.
yeah.
Tell me the starting small
Put
forward for
Ja
the
Shaw,
Grizzlies.
Shaw borderline all-star.
And tell me that Ja is not a borderline all star.
Okay.
Just
And who we got up next?
Jalen Brunson.
Bonafide.
Bonafide scrub.
I mean, to be honest with you, Luka plays
Lucas
point guard for
point
that
guard.
team, so-
Yeah.
But, like,
Jalen
yeah.
Brunson averages 7 points per game, 31% from 3. I think we put him in scrub tier. He's not. Yeah, he doesn't.
He's
deserve
like
to
a
be
second year
starter.
player
Yeah.
though. So like I
Yeah,
mean
it's not like he's terrible. He shouldn't be a starter on a playoff team at
exactly.
this point. in his career.
Yeah.
Okay, who's
All right.
next? Is that Jamal Murray?
That's Jamal Murray.
He's been having a pretty.
I put him average.
What are his
Average.
stats? I mean
Murray
he's had
is
some good
averaging
moments.
If I was gonna be
17.6 points, 4.5 assists, 4.1 boards, but he's shooting 32% from 3.
And
I would put him at the
42%
top of
from
the
3.
average.
Yeah.
I would put him
And
at the
on
top
like
of the
and
average.
on like a really weird Nuggets team too, because like they always start off
Well,
slow.
didn't they lose to like the Cavs the other night?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
They still have
They
like,
always
the
like
second
they
best
always
record in the
start
West.
off slow and then like they turn it on and it's like okay here's the Nuggets team we thought could like show up and play and then they lose to a team like the Cavs like you said.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
it's
so
such a
let's
it's
go-
so weird.
Is that Jeff Teague?
That is
Yeah.
Jeff Teague.
My boy Jeff
So this
Teague.
this obviously has this list is before the trade that just occurred. Jeff Teague back to the Hawks.
I love Jeff Teague. I would put him below average.
Why do you love Jeff Teague?
I used to play with that man's in like 2K15, bro, and he was so bad.
All right,
Bro, Jeff, that was the year he was like an all-star.
He was like an 87 or something.
He was like
No,
an all-star.
No, he probably wasn't that high. That's way too high.
No, that was way too high. He was
I'm
like an 80.
capping.
He was like an
he was nice though.
He was like
solid.
80. He was like 83, 84
I'll look at
in
this.
2K16.
Next up is Kemba.
Kemba Walker. Kemba's an all-star.
Oh,
Kemba's
absolutely.
by
He's,
far.
he's not as good as Dame, you know, but he's still averaging.
See what
42,
happens when
5,
you
and
take
4.
Cancer
He's
off the
honestly
Boston
probably the
Celtics, bro.
third the best.
I'd probably put
him
Kemba
third
below
best point
Trey.
guard.
I'd put him below.
Really?
Trey. Yeah. Well, because Trey's averaging like 20.
Yeah,
Well,
but look at
actually,
his team.
But like
though.
team
Kemba,
success.
the
yeah,
team
I could
success.
go- I would
They're
put
like
that's a big thing with
six.
all-stars.
They
Yeah,
have like
I'd put
6
Kemba
wins.
higher.
'Cause you see-
if Trey
you see
were
guys
on the
like-
Celtics, I don't think he'd be.
You
any
see
better
guys
than
like Chris
Kemba.
Middleton sneaking in the All-Star game because like
Sneaking it because Giannis is his homie and picks the team. Okay,
bro,
It's
well,
your
he was
topic
picked
with
an
him.
All-Star before
I'm
Giannis.
just,
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
All right,
Yeah, yeah.
let's move to this.
Kendrick Nunn.
I like none. I'd put him average
I'd-
with Murray.
I
and
would put
Fox.
him, yeah, definitely
Yeah,
average.
yeah, yeah.
He doesn't do that much other than score, but he's a rookie.
Yeah, I think he looks nice. I'm considering that this guy was undrafted and then came into the league and really
from,
actually
the University
improved
of
this
Oakland,
Heat
man.
team. Yeah.
Reppin'.
Yeah, no, he's really impressed me
I
so
mean,
far.
the Heat team is just set for the playoffs. Man.
They're looking really nice. They have the best home record in the league too.
They've got.
The problem is on the road.
They've just got guys
they
who
out
do
here
everything.
losing to the Knicks.
And I mean, look at what Bam Adebayo's doing, man.
He's nice. Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson's been killing
That
it,
guy,
man.
isn't he like a 47%
He's
something like that, man.
The coach Spoelstra's just like, if you don't shoot, we're making you run.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up we got Kyle Lowry.
I'd say
borderline all-star or very borderline
I'd say
all-star.
borderline all-star.
He's averaging 20 and a half. Yeah, I'd go borderline all-star.
Yeah.
That's more than anybody else there except for
I mean,
Debo.
let's be honest. He's probably like the third best player on his team.
Third best player
After,
on
like,
the Toronto
Pascal.
Raptors.
After
and
like
then-
Pascal and probably like
He's the
Gasol's
second,
had a
right? He's
bad
the
year.
second
Yeah, it's
best.
probably the
Yeah,
second.
second best. I agree.
Okay.
I mean, but
Then we got Kyrie.
Pascal is there.
Kyrie.
Definite all-star.
Kyrie is in the all-star.
He's a
All-star,
definite all-star.
but I just want to say
We know you hate
he's
Kyrie.
a terrible teammate.
We know you hate Kyrie.
No, let's real quick talk about this current event real quick.
He said the other
He
day
really said
they
that
need another piece to contend for a ship.
Y'all
Even when
know
Kevin
you
Durant
got
is
Kevin
healthy.
Durant,
What
right?
the hell are you talking about?
Y'all know you got Kevin Durant.
What the hell are you talking about?
Y'all know you got
Okay,
Kevin Durant, right?
They went out, they signed the best basketball on the player, Kevin Durant, and they signed you, a veteran who has won a championship before. You're averaging 27 points per game. You're in all these Pepsi commercials, bro, and you telling me you need another piece.
You got a guy like
then
Karis
not only that-
LeVert,
not
a
only
guy
that-
like Karis
not
LeVert,
only
Jarrett
that,
Allen,
listen to this.
Spencer Dinwiddie. What are you
Not only
talking
that,
about,
coach,
bro?
He
And a bunch of
trashed
good role
He
players.
trashed on his role players by saying, "Oh yeah, KD, Karis LeVert,
He
you
left
know,
off like half the
Spencer
team. It was like,
Dinwiddie
these
and
bums shouldn't
well,
be-
we've all been
DeAndre
playing,
Jordan.
and then he's like, he just doesn't even mention
Doesn't
the
even
other
mention
half.
the other guys,
They're like,
bro.
those guys are scrubs.
Dude,
you
they
know?
would be like the 2 seed in the East right now if they had KD.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
And the thing is, like, the thing that kind of backs up his statement, though, is like, when he was out with his injury, the Nets sucked.
Yeah.
And
But when he
clarified,
plays,
he clarified
like,
his
they
comments
kill
just
it.
a little while ago. And
So weird.
He insisted that he wasn't pressuring
Wait, no,
the front
Kyrie-
office.
I
to
think
make
you're
changes.
just messing something up because
But I don't know, man.
without Kyrie, they actually came back and started winning, and they started winning.
No,
a
they
few.
were like
They were
Kyrie-
they were
skid.
50%
They
without
They were
Kyrie.
50%.
Skidded
Now
without
Kyrie's
Kyrie.
in. What
They
are they now?
skidded without Kyrie. They were like 9-2 with Kyrie before he got injured.
Okay. Point is, we know where Kyrie's at. Let's put LeBron James, the next guy. He's the best.
He's the best player in the league.
Obviously.
He's the best player on the planet. Like,
Except
for
when
maybe
Kawhi is
Giannis.
not
Except for
love managing it,
whoa,
treasure there.
okay. Except for maybe Giannis.
LeBron's probably better than Giannis.
I
but-
still got Giannis, but that's a discussion
I
for
mean,
another
Giannis got locked up by JoJo Embiid. So
JoJo.
And
Next
LeBron
up-
has gotten locked up by
next up,
Kawhi.
we got
for a
Zoe.
couple
Kawhi's the
times.
best
Zoe.
defender on the planet.
And Joel Embiid's one of the best post defenders.
Next up, we
in the
got
planet.
Zoe 2. I would say.
What's your rockin' ZO2s?
I would say probably below average. I mean.
Triple
you could
B's,
put
I'm
him
a man.
average.
I'm leveled up. I'm Super Saiyan. You said I can't, but I
No,
can.
Zoe's below average.
No, we'll give him average.
He's
Give him average.
Charlie. 39%.
Okay,
Hey,
real
they
quick-
bumped, they
real
bumped
quick,
him
I
up
wanna
2
say
points
this.
in
I really
2K.
quick-
He's a 79 overall now.
I want to say this
39.
because you guys said that they were 9-2 with Kyrie.
I said
They
that.
were
Was I wrong?
3, 4.
I never said they were 9-2
7.
with Kyrie. All I said
I
was
They
said
were
that. Was I
4
wrong
and
with
7 with Kyrie to start off. 4 and 7, and then they went on and won.
Then my source is
Hold up.
incorrect. And I will be unfollowing that Instagram account.
Sound like Stephen A. Smith. My sources tell me Kawhi
Stephen
Leonard
A.
will be joining LeBron James with the Lakers.
Sources tell me that Kawhi Leonard
Yeah.
said to LeBron. Wait,
So-
what? No, Kawhi to what did he say? What did Stephen A. Smith say that
And then they
Kawhi
went-
said?
He said
Then
that
they
Kawhi
went-
told LeBron he was going to play.
Listen
for
to
the
me.
Lakers.
Then they went and they won like 50% of the games that they played for like the next like 15 or so games.
They played bad
And then
teams,
over the
though.
last
they
3
shot
games,
25%.
over the last 3
Knicks.
games with Kyrie, they are now 1-3. They've
You
won
said over
one,
3 games they're 1-3.
over 1 and 2. My bad. Sorry, they've won 1 game with Kyrie. So Kyrie is
They're
not
14
been
and
playing well
5
with his
over
team.
6 games.
Kyrie has not been
I
playing
feel
well
you.
with his
I
team.
feel you. But as for Lonzo, Chuck, he's averaging 12 points. He's shooting 39% from the field. That's below average for me.
Yeah,
He's not,
I
like,
agree.
he's a good defender and a good passer.
He's my
but
boy.
come on.
But
Okay,
Okay.
Malcolm Brogdon, average. I go average.
I would.
borderline
He could be
all-star.
borderline all-star.
Borderline
He could be.
all-star.
I like Malcolm Brogdon a lot.
I would
He's
put him at the
He was
top
my-
average.
he was
He's
my picks for
averaging
most improved player.
18, 7.5, 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, the Pacers are like 25 and
without
They're
Victor
killing
it.
Oladipo.
They're
I
killing
like Brogdon.
But
He-
they're also don't forget this though that the Pacers are also one of the most complete teams in the NBA. They have a great bench. They have a great starting. No, they're not like
I
they
wouldn't
don't
say
have a
great
Listen to me.
teams
Let-
in the NBA.
I'm not saying that they're like a definite contender. I'm just saying that they have a great bench. They
Who's
do have
on
a
their
great bench.
bench?
Here, let me pull them up because
Jeremy Lamb.
they have a bunch of players that
They
can
have
all put up
Demontis
like a bunch-
Sabonis, who's having a really nice
Miles Turner.
Miles
Eh.
Turner,
Miles Turner, but those guys are all starters.
Like-
Tyreek. And then Tyreek.
Who's Tyreek?
They have T.J. Warren.
Do you mean Tyreek Evans?
Wait, no, that's
Tyreek
not-
Evans isn't on
My
an
bad.
NBA
Sorry,
roster.
I was thinking of someone. I was thinking of TJ. Yeah, my bad.
T.J.
My bad.
Warren, he starts.
He
too.
starts.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. You guys said who's on the. You got.
Yeah,
on the
we're
bench,
asking
yeah.
who's on the bench
All right,
because
let
you
me
say
pull
they
them
have
up.
one
They
of the
do
most
have a
complete
good bench,
teams.
Can I put Brogdon?
Yeah,
borderline
put him borderline.
Borderline
All-Star.
All-Star. Yeah,
I mean, he was my pick for most improved player. He's definitely
Looking
living
pretty
up
good
to
so
it.
Far, Chuck.
I mean, I know most of my
Does he
hot
have
takes.
Mike Conley next, bro.
No, we'll
He's
get
been
there.
below average.
We'll get there. I mean, he's kind of. I make a lot of hot takes on this channel, and I know most of them don't
We
pay
could
off.
put Mike Conley bona fide scrub right here. We could put him bona
Facts.
fide scrub.
Facts. I mean, Brogdon's
Honestly-
just making me look good, bro. I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Conley.
Okay, who picked Shea Gilgeous for most?
Okay, let's say this. Real
Let's
quick.
be honest.
Conley,
It's probably gonna be Bam or Devontae.
Conley
Graham.
is
That's facts.
this year has been a bona fide scrub so far. Like he has legitimately been 36% from the field.
Although-
36%.
He's
from
one
the
of
Although
the-
when we
he's
say
one
his
of
that,
the-
team, we made a post.
Okay, but Nick, would you say he's worse than Darius Garland, Ish Smith, Lonzo Ball, Jeff Teague?
I mean,
I'd say he's on the same level as those guys. We go below average.
I agree.
Because
The thing is, there's not a lot of bad
his
starting
team
point
is
guards.
worse with him. Utah Jazz when
Okay,
Conley plays
okay, but-
13-9. Utah Jazz when Conley does not play 15-4.
But Nick, it's not about an objective standard. It's about putting him on a tier with other players. And I would
true.
not say he's below Ish Smith and Darius Garland.
That's true.
And
But
DJ Augustine. He's
I'm
the
just-
same level as those guys.
yeah,
right
I'm
now.
just saying that he's just having a terrible year, man.
I
So
agree
far,
with you,
he's
though.
just been having one of the worst years.
36% from the field,
Uh-huh.
13 points.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Pat Bev. I would put him at the
Average.
top of Pat Bev. I would
Average.
I think you have to go average. Yeah.
You gotta go
I don't know.
average.
Just because of his defense and his work
When you say
ethic.
you don't know,
Would you
what
say below
would you
average?
put?
I might think of it, but his defense does.
And I mean, he
He's only
can
8
knock
points.
down the occasional three.
He gets 6 boards for a point guard.
He can-
Yeah.
which is
Really tough.
great.
You know,
He can knock down the occasional three,
Ultra
which is
defender.
also very helpful
That's
for that
true.
team.
he's probably not as good as the rest of the guys in that average tier, but we love Pat Bev. We're
I
showing
mean,
him.
maybe Kendrick Nunn, just because Kendrick Nunn can only
Yeah.
do one thing, and Pat Bev does everything else but the one thing Kendrick Nunn does.
All right,
Okay.
Ricky Rubio. I go average.
Average.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
been killing it this year,
Well,
though.
Maybe like
He's averaging 9.5 assists.
That's true, but he's been averaging 9.5 assists like every year.
No, he's been averaging like 7 or 8 every year, and he's been.
that one assist
Yeah,
difference.
well, actually, the last 2 years he had 5 and 6. Before that, he was averaging like 9 every year.
But this year,
yeah,
but this
I
year
could-
he's
I
been
could
killing
see
it.
that.
Totally average. He's
I-
He's only
100% average.
13 points.
I mean,
but yeah, his efficiencies aren't
again,
that good.
with our projection for the Suns and
He's been
how they've been
raising
performing,
the Suns.
and the only
Well,
thing they
time
really
out,
did was
time out,
add
time out.
Kelly
how
Oubre
they've been performing.
and Ricky
They
Rubio.
had a hot start, dude. But come on, how they've been performing? The
Dude,
Phoenix
I mean,
Suns are 11th
they're
in the Western Conference.
they're all in playoff contention.
But the thing
though.
is that he's also really helped
like
with their
playoff
ball.
they're still in
A
playoff
big problem-
contention.
Listen to me.
That's how.
contention.
Let me say.
I mean,
something.
you could
The
say
Suns
it's
are
because of the
17 and
West.
24, and they started like
You
10
could
and
say
6.
it's because
Let
of
me
the
say
West.
something. All right. So the Suns right now, the Rubio has this team.
Scott, let him talk.
Oh my God!
The
Shut the hell
Rubio.
up. Okay, Rubio. When the Suns were without him, were not a very good ball movement team. They couldn't move the ball around. And then he came, and they're now actually like top of the league in ball movement. All right, their
'Cause he's a good
assists per
passer.
game. Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
their assists per game are like 29, which is insane. All right, and
But
then
they're not winning
their
games.
it's just their defense. They just don't have defense.
Yeah, and Rubio's
They just
part
don't have
of that.
defense. Yeah, but like, I still
Rubio
totally
plays
believe
defense
in
by
it.
standing behind him.
But that was actually really good. That
No, it
actually worked
wasn't.
Really well. It did though. It did. It kept him from
Yeah,
stepping
because
back.
the Jazz totally beat the
I
Rockets
would
in that
probably,
series.
yeah, okay. I can agree with Rubio on average. I don't love it, but I can see it. Westbrook. Where do you
Westbrook,
guys put him?
All-Star,
All-Star.
All-Star, but
He's averaging 25.
Probably the lowest
His
out of all the
efficiency-
All-Stars.
most of the All-Stars. I
The
agree.
fact that he's shooting 23% from 3.
Come on, there we
It's
go.
just terrible, man.
Dude, he's just such a
Not
bad
a three-point
shooter.
shooter. He's not a three-point
He's just such a bad. Honestly, I think this duo with Russell Westbrook and Harden is
It's
also
been-
just not working out
I
very well.
don't think you can say that
Westbrook?
because the Rockets are still like
The
number 3
Rockets
in the
are good,
West.
but
I
they're
know,
not
but it's
any.
like,
They don't have
they're
any
not
better
any
records
better
than they
than-
were last year.
Yeah, they are not
Like
better than last
Westbrook,
year.
Better.
I'm
They're the
hoping come playoff time, if Harden gets cold, Westbrook can carry him.
Yes.
But Westbrook is always cold.
Yeah.
So, I don't
He
know.
can't
man.
shoot.
Except
can't shoot.
except when
Against like the Clippers.
and
That's the funny thing is the Clippers are gonna just like get ready for the Lakers and then they're gonna fall asleep and then the Rockets are gonna beat them.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah,
Because
who
then
knows?
Paul George and Kawhi won't play the
Paul
same
George
game.
turns into George Paul in the playoffs. But that's a debate for another day. Next up, we got Scary Terry T-Row out
He's
there.
averaging 18 points, 4 assists, and
Yeah,
4.
I like him.
4
I would put him
rebounds.
average tier. If you
I
put
would put him
Ricky
average
Rubio
too. Bottom. I would put him at the bottom of average, but like he's actually having a pretty good
there.
year.
Yeah, we're not actually ranking the average.
Yeah. But if I was to say, I would put him at the
Him
bottom
and
of the average.
him
But
and
he's having a
Devontae
good-
Graham got a good backcourt.
I
for
really
the
do
future.
like that team.
They got a good backcourt.
But
Yeah, they
technically, isn't Devontae Graham their point guard, and then isn't he the shooting guard in this situation?
I mean,
It
I think he
doesn't-
might be
it
the
doesn't
shooting guard.
matter.
I would.
Oh,
put
actually,
them,
do
I
they
would
put him
rank
in-
them in about the same spot.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next guy.
All right,
Tim Frazier.
Tim Frazier,
This is a
bona fide
bonafide.
scrub.
I'd say a bona fide scrub.
This is sad, man.
Just because,
Yeah.
it's tough to be a Pistons fan.
Frazier.
I'm sorry, Detroit sports. Your teams just are not.
He's averaging
Good.
4 points per game. He's a whole level. Jalen Brunson is
Averages.
averaging twice as much
Okay,
in
wait.
almost every statistic.
Let's switch this up, all right? Instead of him, let's put Derrick Rose, all right? Because
No.
they've started to put Derrick Rose on the starting lineup. That's what they've started to do, all right? And then
Look,
we can
the
change this up
fact
a
that
little
the
bit.
Pistons were starting him over Derrick Rose is just
Sad,
unbelievable.
but now they've switched
It's
it.
not.
They've switched it. Derrick Rose has
that
been in the
doesn't
starting lineup.
forgive the fact
I know.
that they actually
But
started
let's
this
just
4
say
point per
he is.
game
Let's
homer.
just say he is.
So then
Derrick
we'd
Rose.
say
I would say
probably top of average.
top of average. I agree.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose has actually been having a great comeback season. He's leading. He's having the most.
You gotta-
I mean,
you gotta
la-
look him up to
I know.
average.
Can you do that? Yeah.
I got it.
He's been averaging the most points per game since his 2011-2012 season.
No sir, Jeff.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, next guy.
Thomas
Satoransky.
Satoransky.
I like Tomas.
It's
Uh,
scrub.
I would put him below average.
I'd put him.
10,
Let me look at this.
10,
I'd
3,
put
and
him
5.
bona fide. I'd put him bona fide.
Really, man?
Dude, I think he's just there. Just
I don't
so-
know. His
Okay, but y'all
efficiency's been
put
pretty good.
Ish Smith and Darius Garland. And
Dude, Ish
That's
Smith's
true.
better than Tomas. What are you talking about?
Ish-
Tomas is just there to freaking mentor Kobe White.
Ish Smith's averaging 11, 3, and
Okay,
4 and a
another
half,
thing we.
and he's averaging Tomas 10, 3, and 5 and a half.
Yeah.
I would not put them on separate tiers. If you guys want to move Ish down to bona fide,
I think we
scrub,
should
be
move
my
Ish
guest.
down to modified
Don't
scrub. No, but
disrespect
this is the
my
thing.
man.
This is the thing about Ish. All right, Bradley Beal has been out for like the last couple of games, and then his stats. He's been getting more and more time, so his stats are a little bit more improved than they should be because he doesn't have Beal to take over and score. So I think it just because of that, his
Look,
stats
if
are a
you
little
guys
bit
want
higher.
to put it,
disrespect my
we don't
man.
Need, we don't need to debate this. If you want to put him in bona
I'm
fide
putting
scrub, I
him-
really don't care enough.
I think we got to
to
put
put-
Thomas and
Okay.
Ish Smith. both.
Well, I mean, we should
Modified
probably
scrub.
drop like DJ Augustine in there too, but who cares?
Or,
These bottom 2 tiers are trash.
Yeah,
Okay, whatever.
I agree.
Whatever. Who is that? Is that Wayne Ellington?
Who's that?
I
Should we change that
that's
to
like-
Frank?
it's
Tank?
Frank
We'll
Ntilikina. Just say Frank
We're
Ntilikina.
saying that's Frank the Tank. All right.
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank.
That's Frank Kaminsky.
Frank the
shoot.
Tank.
I say Frank the Tank.
Frank Ntilikina. Go next, baby.
He's one of the best defensive guards.
Say below average.
But I would put him at the below
One of the
average.
best guards in the league. Thank you very much.
Scott, get your hand off the iPad.
If you move that decimal place over, he's averaging 61 points. I don't know how many homies you can say. So,
But let's be honest.
Bro,
he
he's
could-
an
he could make
athletic
a
freak.
He could make a defensive team for his
He's
just
an
his
athletic
defense on
freak.
guards.
he,
Like,
It's
he's
just the
really
man can't
solid
score.
defensive guard.
unfortunately, he's shooting 39% from the field
Facts.
and 32% from three. Still 10% better than Russell Westbrook. Frank Ntilikina.
And Russell Westbrook's an
Therefore,
all-star.
He's ahead of Russell Westbrook. just based on the numbers. Statistical analysis.
Oh, man. Okay.
Let's be real though. Frank the Tank has
That's
been
the
having
end
a
of the
pretty great
list.
defense.
Let's go over the All Stars. Rank them really quick.
I think
would
he,
say
he's got. I think that's
LeBron
perfect, Brandon.
won.
LeBron
Dame
1, Dame 2, Kemba
Kemba,
3.
Kyrie.
Oh, actually,
Would you
Kemba
put?
or
Would
Kyrie
you
are-
actually put Trey ahead of Kyrie?
No, I would not
No.
put Trey above Kyrie. I would put Kemba and Kyrie as 3A and 3B
Okay,
personally, because they're just like very, very close. I think Kyrie's a better overall player, but
Kemba's
is a better
better.
leader.
He's
and, like, a
better in the
for a
system
team.
he's in, and that's why the Celtics are thriving. Because honestly, that roster hasn't changed
Exactly.
other than adding Kemba and
And then
here's
getting-
my-
Enos
here's my
and
question.
Enos.
And
Here's my
getting rid
question
of
for you
and
guys,
then
though.
also what's his
Do you
Daniel
think the
Theis.
Celtics? Do you guys think the
Daniel
Celtics
Theis
are
has
for
been
real?
The Celtics.
No, but they've moved him to the starting center and moved
That's
Aaron
not
Baines off the
huge.
team.
Okay, well, Aaron Baines.
And then Al Horford.
Tyson's
And Al
been
Horford.
on the
I like
team.
And
how
Al
you
Horford.
said-
And Al
Nick,
Horford.
I like how you say they moved him off the team.
And then Al Horford's also off the team. So, like, they're losing some.
Here's
they're
my
losing
question
some
for
pretty
you
good
though:
players.
do you guys think the Celtics are real or fake? Like, can they actually win anything,
No.
or are they just a good regular?
Not yet.
season
Not
team?
not yet. I don't think.
So, are you saying Tatum and Brown?
I think-
I think they need more years.
Do you think they should?
I
Trade
think
Marcus
this.
Smart?
I think they need to get rid of Gordon Hayward. To be honest, trade Gordon Hayward. Get yourself a.
But when you say trade Gordon Hayward, who's gonna take Gordon Hayward? What are you
Exactly.
gonna
That's
get?
why they're in a
Like,
bad.
maybe
I
spot.
think they want like a
I bet they
center.
could trade him for Kevin Love.
They need. Well, if they do that, that would
That
solve
would
their
actually
problems.
be pretty nice.
Honestly,
that would be pretty
that's
nice.
that's another just. Well, they need a defensive big man.
They
so.
do.
Say-
Oh,
they've-
Kevin Love.
or like a
Or
Miles
Steph
Turner. They
Curry.
could go after a guy like the
Final
Miles.
shot
Okay,
fine.
that's
this
facts.
Is,
but
this is
Kevin
something
Love's
I've been
getting
thinking
older.
about. This is something I've been thinking about. This team is filled with slashers that are also pretty good at mid range and pretty good at shooters, but they're better as a slasher.
Yes, so they're
than
very
right?
good all around
Well,
players.
I don't know about that because Smart's a pretty good shooter
The-
and Tatum's
yeah.
a pretty good shooter.
But Tatum's also always driving to the hole, and same
That's
with
true.
Jalen Brown. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Brown.
so what I was
Kemba's
thinking
great.
is
Kemba's
that this
great with
team
that.
should absolutely go after a center that can shoot, but can also block.
Spot, pop.
So I was thinking if they could, they would try and go after like a guy like Brook Lopez, just because they would fit their system better.
Yeah,
so
but
they could
I don't
have
think
guys that are
Brook
constantly
Lopez would
fighting.
make enough of a
That's
change
true.
for them
But
to actually go
I think it would be
anywhere.
nice.
not
I
that
think it would be
big of a
really
deal.
nice for them to have that kind of team, kind of have that kind of center. I'm not sure. Maybe Thomas Bryant, from the.
Can
the
he
Wizards.
shoot?
Yeah, he's a good shooter. I think.
I
That's what
just
remember.
don't know if
I don't
getting
thi-
that-
I don't-
Thomas
yeah.
Bryant's just a guy, man.
Like
He's
I
not-
don't think that's your defining
he's just
piece.
a dude. Like,
That's
he's not
like
gonna-
saying,
he's
"Oh,
not gonna lift
Blazers
you.
suck at perimeter defense. Let's get Tony Allen, and then we're gonna win the
Yeah.
NBA championship."
Yeah,
He's been doing a little bit less, but
Well,
last year he shot
I
like
will
a
give you this:
33%.
the Blazers
which
are
is
the
pretty
8 seed and the Celtics are the 2. But I don't think the Celtics are a Thomas Bryant away from.
good.
the
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying
They're-
that would
they're
be-
a block-
he would
They
make
just
them better.
they just need a center that like can shoot and.
They're probably
block
they're
shots.
they're probably like a borderline all-star from a championship
I agree.
because you got a lot of young pieces,
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
thing is like they're not done developing too, so we don't know what's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like the list for the point
Do you think
guards.
they should trade Marcus Smart?
I think Marcus Smart is such a he's like a floor general. That's what he is. He's such a
He's their Pat Bev.
he's their Pat Bev. He's their motivation.
He's their Draymond.
He's
He's
their hype guy. He's not like hype guy, but like as in like
Their grinder.
Their grinder. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yep, I got you. Okay.
I really think that this team could be in title contention. They just need to
gotta
maybe
keep working.
they just got to keep working and develop more. I mean, I was surprised to see Jalen Brown and Tatum. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. They actually did improve a lot this year.
Yeah,
Last year,
great
the difference between this year and last year and the year before that is a little bit different. Like a pretty big step up. Especially with Kyrie gone and with a leader like Kemba. That's just such a helpful leader.
All right, fellas. Before we go, I just want to hit you with one more thing. The 3 official nicknames of Frank Ntilikina. Frankie Smokes, the French Prince, and the French Eyes.
Not Frank
Comment
the
below.
Tank. Frank the Tank is reserved for
Comment
Frank
below.
Kaminsky.
Tell us which is your
Big
favorite
Red
of
Badger.
the 3. I will say them again. Frankie Smokes, the French Eyes, and the French Prince. Tell us which is
I
your
like the
favorite.
French Prince, bro.
All right. Well,
All right, boys.
thank you guys so much for listening to our podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Plug the
We
Insta.
also have our Instagram, which we have recently changed names to Hoops and Heisman's. All right. And we also changed our profile picture. Pretty
Hey,
nice.
fellas.
Scotty worked on it pretty hard.
One more thing. We got a new podcast coming out as well for music. Y'all want to hear Charlie talk about Eminem's new album?
Yes, sir.
Go
Yes,
listen.
sir.
Vid's coming out
Just
soon,
know I
baby.
really enjoyed it, and it's going to be a long video.
Charlie's
All right.
a pretty big Eminem fan.
Well, thank you guys so much, and have a great weekend.
This has been The Last Word.